firemen would throw on their phone to go into a burning building to go help save people. So you guys should be able to see me in there. It's a red, orange, and yellow guy. So I normally point that out, and it's not really going to work in my favor tonight, but I'm going to say it anyway. That makes me the hottest thing inside the frame right now. Yes, ladies, that was a joke. You're supposed to chuckle a little bit. Mark's is like, no, I'm not doing that. That's a bad joke, and that's okay. It is a bad joke, but I use it every day, and it still works. So I say that joke on purpose every night, on purpose, because I want you guys to focus on the blue and black areas. The blue and black areas are going to be your cold areas. I want them to either move or to take shape. That's the hope that we find out of this guy. I have caught some moving people. And when I say take shape, I want a head, shoulders, moving arms, and legs. We've caught about 4 or 5 of these per year. So just so you guys know, this is not 4 or 5 per episode. I'm not a TV show host, and you're not on YouTube. So again, I always like to give you the stats of what's going on inside of your equipment. So with this one particularly,
Is it on the top
right, just do a quick tap. But I'm going to keep you with me.
No, you got a plate on.
All right, 7 feet.
I better not get slapped by
You know the rules, don't give me anything below that now. So 0 down to 2.
What happened?
Hit him with a thumb up. You know what I'm saying? Where are you, Scooby-Doo? I'm just kidding. Hey, I'll give you some indigo. Yeah, I'll give you some indigo. You want to be rich? Give me some cotton. I know about the boll weevil. Got me some cotton. Wish this was a TV show right now. We're catching all them ghosts.
It's a good song. Brittany, did you figure out how to get to the word list? So what I'll do when I want to see the list, most of the time I'll just ask you like what are the last 4 words that are at the top, and then you get to the top right, both of them. Okay. Nice and easy.
Alright, I got no element.
Yeah. But you might have other things in there that might be relevant to your space.
I do have some other stuff. She got some numbers and then numbers.
Dang, that's cool.
What are the numbers that you heard? In what order?
man, I've heard 22822. And the word threatened.
You feel threatened, eh? Throw hands at you, ghost. I'll throw hands at you. Where are you, buddy? Little Lisa. I ain't seen you. When I do, I might hit you with a
Not only
one,
that,
two.
but now you know why it's well, she was born in 1722. She was also 22 years old when she married Charles. In fact, she had two in a row. Doesn't
Yeah, I got 20.
we had 20 and 8. We had 2 and 20. Rotated in the exact same order. The only reason I know that.
How are you, buddy?
My birthday's February 28th. So that's the reason why I'm expecting February. But I'm also expecting my name to show up from something. Again, I have my ghost at home.
Ain't no one here. Hmm? Welcome back to my usual video. Today we will be finding ghosts. I ain't seen them. When they come out, I'll catch them. I'm gonna go slow. Number 360. Yeah. Do you buy the skibbity toilet? Because I don't actually hate skibbity toilet. How old are you? How old are you, man? How old are you? I want to see you later, my G. You down for a classical game of chess? Where are you, G Money? Charge. I want to see the skies. That's cool. Man, everything's hot.
At least you haven't been told to leave.
Where your cabin? But she ain't here.
What happens, man?
You can hide from me, buddy. You got cameras all around me. There ain't nothing you can stop me. That's my gang. Spider-Man.
It's just fun. You would drive by people like this, my boy, or driving dinner. What the hell is going on?
I got 251. What's 251 to do?
Wait, is Mr. Mark leaving, Mom? Well, how's the water warm? Man.
Got anything?
Nope. Not thank you. We'll find something. The sky looks pretty cool on this thing, though.
Probably because there's only like 1 or 2 people here. They're probably showing up.
Yeah, well, we'll find it today. I just don't think they're right here. They're over in the other places.
Oh yeah, in the building. That's where the people are.
I got leave a lot, and I got brief. I guess.
Yeah, it's not always going to be
What's up,
consistent,
chat?
so I felt bad.
Something about beer.
And he'll hear the recording, that's genuine. You know what I mean?
Yep.
All right, I say we wrap this one up.
Thank you.
Not a problem.
No, no one's here. I saw. Oh. What? They said it was a cool alleyway. Uh oh. It won't turn off.
What else do you get besides broken?
Belly
I
4 or foreign?
Probably foreign. There was more after it.
Okay. Like I said, you were closer to it. Marks, what'd you get along the way?
Nothing.
Nothing. You're fired.
A lot of nothing.
Are you sure you got nothing?
Nope, not at all. But you got your
My turn
headphones
to
in,
sign
right?
now?
Yeah, just keep.
I'm pretty
nice
sure I
and
can
low,
hear
'cause
his
there's another
headphones
tour
from
in
here.
Yeah.
So yeah, exactly. I mean, Chad, with yours. I mean,
Did mine
you're
go
a
on?
perfect
Did it
level.
go on?
Nope, you didn't. Just a quick tap. When I move on to Brittany, what'd you get? What are the last 5 or 6 turns?
5 or 6. Well, cousin, push Jonathan trait softly.
How is Jonathan spelled? Just curious.
Jonathan.
Mom, so those aren't the most
He
recent.
said that's the
It
very
is, the
first
top
one.
ones.
Play with your device.
There
That's
you
mine.
go.
No,
We'll rock you. Let's go.
And Elisa, do we have any words being spelled out?
No word.
Okay. Anything specific that stands out to you? Okay. In here, you're going to be looking for the initials R-I in that order. You know, I always like to look for initials in order. So yeah, that's where it's going to stop right up there.
Is it signed?
No.
I don't think so.
Is it not?
Oh, something in there. Look at this. I'm just joking. It's all red.
No, you got
Sorry.
I am so sorry.
Thank you, Matt.
I
Hit the right button evidently.
will go back up and I apologize.
right person. Grease. We got acid.
Grease.
Grease.
Interesting. Grease.
We know
You're
if
looking
it's
for
the
an 8 or
place or
above, like
the
I said.
fucking
Those 4 devices. We'll be fortunate enough to be able to find it. However, the 2 gents with the spirit boxes, I can't tell you how many times I've gone through a recording and I've caught the whistling part of a song and the word doctor immediately after during the time frame that we're here. I don't look for these things, guys. I listen to minute 1, 5, 10, 15, 20. I have a regimen of what I do, so I'm not searching for things for you. So you guys get the point. It shows up all the time. Dozens and dozens per year. This is the reason why I wasn't going to take this out of my route, because this guy actually does follow me around town, because we're going to be near other places of his that are going to be places of raised emotion that I talked about earlier, like the Pinckney Mansion. So he will follow us from here on out, just so you know. This guy's story has been told for the past 40 to 50 years from other tours. I'm the only guy that brings groups that can actually communicate back. Can you guess now why he follows me around the damn city? Yeah. Now, if you're going to try this on your own, because most of you aren't from here, and you're going to walk all the way through this alley with the voice recorders from your phones, listening for those whistles, just remember every local knows the story. Anybody walking up and down Cumberland or Queen Street, we all throw a whistle down the alley. We can already hear some coming through the other tour groups. Again, there's a couple of things about this location, but here's why I actually been thrown out of here. I can't take you all the way through to the end. I've been tossed out. So let's talk about that. That's the fun part. So this alley didn't go all the way through the way we came in. There used to be a wall up there before it was Ruler's Alley. In perfect timing, because I don't like to tell this story around strangers anyway, so we'll let them pass through. By the way, you guys are the weirdos out here with all the blinky light devices, so expect other tourists to be staring at you. That's kind of how this goes for me every night.
They're just jealous.
They are, and I usually get that they're using equipment. I'm like, well, you paid their ticket prices, not my ticket prices.
That's right.
So anyway, moving forward. The wall. The reason why it was up there before it was Dueler's Alley is because this is where they kept the livestock for the city of Charleston. So that means that there were cows, goats, and chickens down there. Why am I telling you this? Because the bricks all the way down at the end that you guys can now see, those bricks down there are sun-dried bricks from slave children. There's a full handprint from a slave child in one of the bricks down there, and fingerprint swipes in others. Those ones down there are real. I think some of the ones that you're seeing up here were actually kind of planted to kind of make it look like it was authentic all the way through. But all the way down at the end, I used to take my groups all the way through for a history lesson. Nothing paranormal about that damn brick. That's the last place you're going to find him. So I was doing it out of history. So I took my group down there on November 26th of 2020, and my entire group stopped and huddled around the damn brick, waiting for something to happen with all the gear. I know nothing's going to happen. I'm trying to shoo them along. Let's get moving. Because we're also standing outside the dining room window of the beautiful mansion at the end of the alley. I was just trying to be respectful. I didn't realize we were out of bounds for tours. So I was still new at this. And my daughter, who was on the tour that night, started laughing the minute that the owner of that mansion came out and started yelling at me. She thought it was great that Dad was getting yelled at. So again, she was about 14 years old at the time. She thought it was hysterical. The next day was Thanksgiving. I don't tour on Thanksgiving because I worked in upper management for Walmart before I started doing this, and you all fight over towels on Thanksgiving and scarred me for life. I don't tour on Thanksgiving anymore. The next day was the 28th. The date's irrelevant, I promise. I called my partner that I had at the time, and I told him what happened. He laughed at me just like my daughter did, and he said, dude, you're only allowed to go down halfway. You got to start rerouting your groups. So that night, I was about to take them up and around the corner to talk about pirates, and I told them I don't believe in this story because nothing's ever happened over there with my gear, and I'm into vampires, not pirates. By the way, we're not doing the pirate story tonight because they're monitoring that area for tours, and we're technically not allowed in there either. So I kind of had to reschedule like how I actually take you guys to different locations. But anyway, the pirates. Before we left, somebody with a spirit box heard the name Anne. I didn't tell them which pirate we were going to be investigating. The female pirate, Anne Bonny. It's kind of a, okay, maybe we'll get something. I took them around the corner, told them what I knew about pirates, not much by the way. Somebody else with a spirit box heard the number 300. I didn't know what it meant, I wrote it down. I did the research for them. We were there November 28th of 2020. Anne Bonny's trial for piracy was November 28th of 1720. The exact 300-year anniversary of her pirate trial. I usually get those kind of reactions of like, wow, that's pretty cool. No, I was pissed off. Let me explain. Master's degree in creative writing, everybody. Whenever I'm doing anything that deals with writing, especially paranormal investigating, I need facts and data. Pirate stories come from pirate lore. It was written 100 years after the golden age of piracy. We don't know how true the lore is. You guys are seeing the point on this. I had to read more books on pirates than I ever wanted to, and now I can't even take you guys back up to that space. So I know, kind of a nutty shot. But the location that we're going to next, we are still going to be relatively nearby, so every once in a while we've been seeing those trickles. This has been happening for about 3, maybe 4 weeks now since I've been booted out of there. We have been seeing little Anne Bonny tidbits kind of come through, and I'll let you know if you guys hear or see things that are relevant to Anne Bonny. But where we're going to be discussing an apparition. So Liz's camera is going to be paramount over there. That's going to be the kind of the experiment that we're going to be running, but all 3 cameras will be filming the exact same thing with a major focus of what Liz's camera is capable of doing. The hope here is, because I haven't caught the apparition yet, if her camera captures it, I want to know what the other 2 cameras did at the same time, so that way I can kind of see and sync them up. So it is kind of it's a story that most ghost tours tell. It's usually their big finale, and I usually let them have it, but I have to steal it back just because of, you know, I lost my Anne Bonny tale. So that's kind of how we're going about this. The gate, before we leave, because we're not too hot down here tonight, I always like to point out why the gate is here. Again, another little history lesson. Remember, the alley didn't go all the way through. There used to be a wall up there. So the loser to the duel down here, instead of basically, this was the shortcut to get to the cemetery. So instead of going all the way down to the end of the alley and doubling back to get to the cemetery with the dead body, they used this doorway basically to get over to the cemetery. The wrought iron was probably put there in the early 1900s, but the archway is definitely part of the original wall if you haven't seen it. So again, it's not a whole lot of people know why this thing is actually here, but if you piece it all together, obviously I do a shit ton of research on these locations. You guys can obviously see how I put it all together. Cameras, if you want to stay running up and around the corner, by all means, you can keep them up and running. In the event we have to wait our turn, I will tell you the story, and then we will go up and film for about 5 minutes while Spirit Box is listening pretty heavily to see if we have anything going on with that specific spirit. Has anybody heard or seen anything with their devices before we leave the space?
I got ragged. R-A-G.
Okay. Still a 3-letter word. I like it.
Would it make a difference on mine? I had Lynn, Carol, Foundation, and Decomposing.
Decomposing, we're next to the cemetery. I'm not surprised by that.
And as for numbers, it's been steady about 15 or 1.5, 1.6.
Okay. So yeah. And again, I only say 8 because of the lamppost.
You want 8.0?
8 and 8.0 and higher.
I did not know one over there.
Okay.
I had dance, elementary, and surprise.
Hey,
Yeah, a lot of
elementary
nothing
school.
coming out of yours. You weren't technically listening. Lee, did you get anything? Or were you focused on me? Were you focused on me? It's okay if you didn't get anything. You're recording. That's why we do it.
I am.
Oh, okay.
I was listening to the story. It's a good storyteller. I like listening to stories.
And it's, yes, and that's the idea of why we do the recording is because I do talk a lot. It's okay to talk shit if I heard something, you know, every once in a while. But if you're saying that an awful lot, I'm going to kick you off. That's kind of how that rolls. It's a joke. Relax, I'm not kicking you off. All right, cameras again. If you want to keep them up and recording, by all means do so. Brianna, if you want to try to unmute along the way until we get there, until I can tell you guys what goes on over there, we can do that, and then you'll be able to unmute again The last two stops are definitely going. You guys have seen the very last stop, but there's one in between now that's a murder mystery, and we're going to play around with some different devices and kind of shuffle some things around with the last two locations, and I'll explain those before we get to those stops so you know what to expect. Because again, it's not always going to be the exact same style. Like, okay, I told you the story, go spread out. Everything we do now is a little bit different. I've noticed that. So, yeah, let's go find an apparition. Hopefully, keep our fingers crossed that she shows up tonight. That'd be super great.
That would be cool.
Of course, the air conditioner wants to stop as soon as I stop talking.
I know.
Welcome back to my YouTube vlog today.
Out here being a YouTuber and I'm carrying around my little box.
You guys can swap.
Ah, I like my little box.
Oh, really? Thought you were complaining.
No. If I was complaining, I would have done it earlier.
Well, you'll know.
Yeah.
She yaps
I
when she
had two
complains.
girls.
It amazes me the difference in these two. I know they were raised the same, it's just me.
I have two girls that are that way.
Gotta hit with the cord through here. Oh yeah. I'm getting a whole lot of nothing.
And the youngest sister.
Oh, what's
Have a
that?
seat, everybody. I'm going to give you guys a break. She's been working hard.
She's at that clown camp right now.
Have a seat,
Clown?
Yeah, clown like clown.
Yeah. Up next to the bars, so that way you're not capturing the bars in there. So Liz, come on up. You're good. We want to get yours. Now, by the way, your graveyard that you guys are looking at is going to be in the back. Kind of get behind everybody so they can
There's a
hear me.
light right in my eyes there.
That's the whole point.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you see the cross graveyard in the back? Sue's grave is just to the left of that and one more row back. We were actually closer to her when we were in the alleyway.
Wow, okay.
So just kind of know which direction that you're headed. Now that light off to the left that's blinding Liz, that was put there on purpose so that way other normal cameras would have light flares and it would ruin the photographs.
Wow, okay.
So that was put there by the church. Again, I didn't mean to be kind of rude to that tour guide, but at the same time, we've been literally waiting for 15 minutes.
Right.
So we will be here for about 5. So we'll watch the timer on Braden's, if you can see that. And we'll kind of see what we can get out of this location. And then we'll cross the street and get out of his way. Cognitive. Akasha is kind of like the Akashic records. It's like an ancient text from like the Atlantean. So it's in the Bible. Okay. Again, they put those in there.
Can you slide it through the thing, you know, and hold it?
I didn't get nothing.
Like right here. Slide it through there and hold it. There you go.
Isn't the camera in only like one spot of the iPad?
When you hit 5 minutes on yours, we'll call it on this one. So that
Slide it through and then hold it through there.
You ain't getting the bars. I know what you're talking about.
There you go.
I'm not getting any bars.
This is gonna go awful. Trust me, once you're in there and blindfolded, it's gonna heighten your hearing. So that's the whole point of this. Yeah.
Huh? Oh, you're talking about just getting the trees and you see it's bigger than trees.
It's like
Well, I'm gonna break them all. There's so many things I want to talk about. I just can't pick them out.
I know 90% of the puzzles. That's the fun part. Braden, where are we at on that timer?
2 minutes, 22 seconds.
3D.
That's easier. Algebra is easier than picking out whatever the f is going on in this.
So Nick, when you watched this,
Yeah.
it was totally fine, and then there was like a flash of light like a few seconds ago. I don't know if that means anything.
Find out. Sometimes you pick up
so-
on the glare from the SLS camera because
Yeah.
it's shooting lights out.
Okay,
That's how his camera works.
okay. But I don't see, I even put my reading glasses on so I could see better, and I don't see anything yet. But I'm hoping that, is it Sarah? Is it S-H-A?
Sue.
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 I hope that Sue will show up for me. Am I in the right place here?
No. You want to go straight back. You're almost like, the brain's like almost in perfect lines.
Straight back?
Yeah.
Right here, like this?
Yeah, so you can even almost point yours like aligned with that path over there.
Oh, okay.
Maybe we can get something that way. We got about a minute left over here. Any letters being spelled out
So
for us,
I
Lisa?
have been looking in the wrong.
Hey Sue, you got about a minute to show yourself. We're the only ones that are going to be able to see you because we have all the equipment. I know it's weird.
Sue, you here? It's not a yes or no answer. Hey, Sue, show yourself.
I'll give you a cookie.
I would love to see you.
No other words.
I'll give you 2 cookies.
Cookie.
I'm not gonna give you cookies.
How about ice cream? How many spirits are here? How about ice cream?
All right, Cams, let's go ahead and let's hit stop on those because there's a lot. Recorder, you're wherever you point the fuzzy part, Brianna, is where you're going to get the most noise.
Thank you.
So this location, here's how this one's going to go. So Brianna, you're new to that camera. Just make sure it's on your left, not your right when you're recording, because it will be upside down.
Are you turning this back on?
You can if you want. So when we get over there, the hope here is that if I can't get the answers out of the 2 spirit box gentlemen, it is going to show up on our word list and out of the Ouija board. So hopefully if you guys are getting anything out of it, it's okay to just tell me as I'm answering questions or asking questions to them on the bench, to just tell me what you're getting that's being spelled out, or if you guys are getting the point. And definitely with the cameras, we want to, the 2 of you can film wherever you want, but we do want Lizzie's kind of focused on them, because I'm not telling them this history tonight. They're going to have to wait for the video. I'm kind of a jerk now. I'm kind of a jerk a lot of ways tonight, guys. You guys did it. Kicking other chores out of the way, like, nope, we're staying. But anyway, this was the new spot for last year. Last year, I only had 2 people when I first started coming in here in November, because I wait till after Halloween. You guys get the point for my new location, so I can start looking and see if it's legitimately haunted. 2 people, it was cold and everybody canceled, so I only had 2 folks. The young lady with the spear box, she heard the year 1828 and the name Henry. I was using your word list, and it gave me the word Tim. Boss behind me is Henry Timrod. He was born in 1828. So it's kind of hot. Damn, there's my ghost. That's how this goes. So here's his very quick story. And you're still on the right, Brianna, just so you know. Flip the camera. There you go. We're all going to have an upside down video.
You're
Oh,
the
yeah.
right.
Yep, the other right.
Well, my brain doesn't do right and left.
Henry is sick through most of his life, and he's a writer. He's old enough to go fight in the Civil War in the 1860s. So he goes out to the battlefield to fight for the Confederate side, and his comrades realized he was too sick to fight. They sent his ass home knowing he was a writer and said, go be the voice of the war, man. Go tell people what's going on out here. So he came home to Charleston, started writing poetry about what was happening on the battlefield. He became known as the laureate of the Confederacy. It's a pretty big title for writers in case you're not familiar with that. Now, he has a son a couple years after he's making a name for himself in the poetry world, and the son's name is Willie. He's born on Christmas Eve, but he did die 9 months later. Another last dead child of the night, I promise. It's our last story. So Henry and his wife are mourning, and Henry is not writing as much. He has another writer friend of his named Paul Hamilton Haynes. And by the way, the name Haynes was one of the psychic the other night had the phrase RuPaul written down, and then the word Haynes written right next to it. Henry's friend's name was Paul Hamilton Haynes. So you can see where the RuPaul and Haynes would come into effect. But anyway, I was actually pretty excited about it. She didn't know what the hell RuPaul was and why I was excited about it. I'm like, it's not RuPaul that I'm excited about. It's the name Paul. But I know. So moving forward, Paul says, dude, I know you're not writing as much, but I have a cottage in Colombia. You can use it to get back on track and leave your wife Katie behind to mourn with her parents that were here visiting. So he goes out to that cottage, and that's where he wrote his last words. His last words were, beholder of brief mortality, which today's world, dear person with a short life. And then he coughed up. And he had an alarm that went off in the middle of his death. He basically coughed, and it landed on the page in a blood stain because he had tuberculosis. He died right there, age 38, pen in hand. The perfect way for a writer to go. But wait, there's more. That infomercial, I use it every night now. It's super great. The reason why we're here is because of that blood stain. They show it 1 day a year at the Charleston Library Society, but you have to be a member to go see it. And the reason why they show it, they only show it on Halloween, is because it looks like a man writing at his desk. We call it the Blood Book. It's very creepy stuff, but you have to be a member to go see it, but the internet's beautiful. So I'm going to show you the page, and then we're going to go talk to a ghost. So family members of Lee and Marks, they're not going to be able to hear me. So there's going to be, I never touch anybody on the bench, no matter what gender they are. So there's going to be a couple of hand signals that I'm going to need you for in the event that they're too loud, which could be something for Marks. He's a pretty loud person. So in the event that he's too loud, just tap him on the shoulder. So that's kind of how that's going to go. Braden can hear me, so obviously he can follow direction.
We might still need to slap him.
Yeah, it's super loud tonight. I have no idea why. In the event, when we are done after 10 minutes, you guys are going to tap them on the leg. So again, that way they know to take off their own gear. I'm going to tell them all of these things before we kind of part ways. But yeah, we can huddle in because this is one last final picture. Here is your blood stain that looks like the silhouette of a man writing at his... You have neighbors. So a family member is going to tap you on the shoulder. If it's too loud, just quiet down. You don't need to take off your mask and everything and all that stuff. So just kind of keep in mind, quiet down a little bit. When we are done, I only keep you guys under for 10 minutes. Your family members will tap you on the leg. You're going to be able to hear all of this, so I don't need to have a family member touch you at all. If your family members will touch you on the leg, that means we're done. Take off your own gear. The blue banana. All right, you can't hear me. Henry, if you're here, we need you to start telling us things about your job, please.
1,000.
What did you do for work?
Angel.
You were not an angel. You might be an angel now, depending on your religious perspective. If it's blurry in there, that's your
Shame.
Henry?
Michael.
By the way, I'd just like to point out we're near St. Michael's Church. And Chad's real identity is Michael.
All night.
Henry? I got 3 gentlemen on the bench tonight. We haven't seen 3 gents here in a while. Usually a mixture.
Measuring. Over.
Did you say Auburn? Haven't you said like Auburn University like 10 times tonight because of the AU on there?
What?
I don't even know what that is.
Leave. 33.
Mary Reed, or not Mary Reed.
Veins, pillar.
Mary Ravenel died in 1933. Henry, do we have somebody else here with us tonight? If you're not Henry, say your first name, please. Braden, you got an image?
I don't know what that was. It's like a pillar.
And you can fix the straps on this. Actually, you don't have to hold it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Henry, if you're not here and you're somebody else, say your first name for us, please. Dr. Ladd, if you're here, you know your code word. Code word is purple, just so everybody knows, because that's not a normal thing that you hear on the radio. What did he just say?
You just said purple, I think.
Did he just say purple?
I thought he said it was
Okay, and he did say it. I thought I heard purple too, that's why.
I heard him say purple.
Treasure.
Henry, Timrod, I need you to ask everybody to take a step
11
aside.
o'clock.
11 o'clock.
That's when my alarm went off.
Henry, or whoever else is here, can you tell us your first name? Dr. Ladd, if it's you, use your code word. We just need to verify who's here before I start asking random questions. Come on.
Rebound number.
Rebound luck.
I've found love a lot since we walked this way.
There's someone there.
Paul.
Bad omens.
Bad omens. Rebound lover with bad omens. I want to say that Mary Ravenel, her late husband, was her second husband. I don't know the full story there.
Watch for
Watch her. Machine. I thought I said watch her.
I ain't seen nothing.
And again, Brayden, let's be grateful we have anything so far, because some nights we've had 0.
So the vague pillar is good.
Henry, we heard some sounds coming out of the church. Some sounds out of the church earlier. Can you tell us what those sounds were? Choose the frequencies that they're listening to.
the people you leave. Turn away.
Weed.
What was that?
Down the street.
Down the street. So far he said 2 things slightly relevant to the Mary story.
Right.
Memories.
Mary, can you tell us your husband's name? What was his first name? That should probably be a little easier to find in that frequency.
Dead.
Dead? that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know he was dead, but before you did. But what was his name? Can you tell us his first name? Brandon, you got something?
It looks like a dagger on a stone on the right, and then on the left like some blue thing going into like a mountain.
I missed what he said. He's kind of
Usual.
mumbling a little bit 'cause it's hard. He can't hear his own voice. So that happens with this sometimes. Mary, can you tell us your husband's name? It was John, by the way. I'm just giving you guys the answer, so in case it pops up,
I had one spike at 17.
I'll take it.
When you started.
We've had triple digits in here while this has happened.
Wow. Is your thing blinking across here?
That's probably coming from Chad's camera. Remember, his like shoots out light that we can't see.
Okay, that's what I just saw then. Okay.
Henry or Mary.
My God.
We need something a little bit more specific, so we know exactly who's here. We're running out of time. I've asked a lot of very specific questions. Some general, some general to you specifically.
200.
Mary, can you tell us how old you were when you were shot?
Reached out.
Reached out. Is that what it said?
It said freeze stop.
I'm not hearing him.
I'm hearing the same thing you are.
Okay.
What's that?
Now whatever she's saying is what I'm
I
hearing.
heard reached out.
Reach out. I thought he said freeze stop.
I heard reach out.
We're gonna go with reached out. That sounds a little bit more like something you would hear out of the radio stations anyway. Notice that they both stopped talking at this point. Mary, husband's name please. Let's verify you're here.
Magic.
Magic. Part of the reason why I moved my bag because the voice recorder's right next to him now.
Falling.
Falling. Mary, you told me about you falling several times.
Say my music in the sun.
In the sun.
Just say random stuff.
I missed what he said again. Mary, we're running out of. We don't do this for very long. I know you've watched me do this before. We've got about a minute and a half left. If you could tell us your husband's
Just like us.
just like us.
What is it?
Ease.
Ease?
E-A-S-E.
Ease.
I was snooping on your text, no I'm kidding.
Go ahead.
Mary, anything else you want to tell us? We are running out of time. Henry, it's your last chance as well. I'd rather have one more image from either one of you. Mary or Henry going once. Couldn't tell. Again, he's also like looking downward. Mary or Henry going twice for an image.
Flesh and blood.
Flesh and blood, I heard that.
Maybe her own flesh and blood killed her.
Yeah. Maybe that was somebody that she knew that did it.
Well, somebody have their phone on them real quick, do some quick math for me.
Yeah.
Type in 1933 minus 1879.
54.
54. born in 1860. And she was 64 years old when she passed away. You see where I was going with that?
She's holding a dude.
She's holding a dude?
With the person in front of her. Some being is holding something.
Everything. This says it's 21.
Drugs.
More.
Okay, we're gonna say goodnight. Can you say goodnight back to us? Going once, going twice. Alright, let's get these two gems tapped out. Brayden, go ahead. You got another image?
There's a girl and a boy. They're like dancing. Like a ballroom.
I wrap my head up.
Alright.
Are you okay? When Joe did this, she actually had
Brayden, go ahead and take that one. Nobody get up, by the way.
when Joe did this, she was very disoriented.
Joe's very sensitive.
Yeah,
You
she
have
was
a
very,
button
very
next to your volume.
disoriented after
I
she
want
was
you to
finished
click
with
it in
this.
the opposite direction.
She's
so
my
it turns the machine off.
13-year-old.